came fun ke boile hape. I'm back, good people, because because reasons. I tried using the other page, as I've said, but akuna hope. I can't get through our guest. I can't invite our guest in using the lazy room page. So we just decided we are going to give it another try using this very same account. So yeah. What an one problem in now? Just low connection of network la. I can't be able to see who is watching and stuff at like when I first, and hopefully this strategy that we are trying now will work. Yes, hopefully so. Because Logos is still okay. We light. If they accept the gender, I can say that. Ungabe accept agora. Yeah, so I want to see if now we will be able to get through our guest. And today I'm bound to speak English throughout the session, because since I'm having viewers from all over the world. Yeah, so as I've said, we'll try, but I don't know how much we should try. I feel like music again, but you hear me? Is it coming together or what? Guys, I need a professional team. Ona Matata. Oh, here it is. You see now we are arriving. Here we are.
Well, I'm doing it on my cell phone because it's not working on my Facebook.
Okay. Yeah. At least we are here.
How are you?
I'm very fine, thanks. And how are you?
I'm okay.
Yes. Hopefully you can hear me very well.
Yes, I do. I hear
It's been
echo,
a
but I
long.
hear you.
But I hear you. You are hearing an echo. I can get rid of the mic. I was trying to make a good quality sound before you could join. I can get rid of the mic so that you don't have the echo or a reverb. How about now if you speak?
I could hear you.
Yeah. And then how about the echo? You're still hearing it?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
How about the echo?
Good.
The echo is fine now.
Oh yeah, I don't hear it.
Okay, thank you very much. So it's been a very tiring journey for the past few minutes while we were trying to get hold of you, to have you around, but hopefully God came through for us, and now we are here. So I'd like to welcome you on our podcast. It's the Lazy Room Podcast, and I'm your host, Lord Warren II. I'm very glad to have you tonight
Thank
because
you.
again, it's tonight this side South African Standard Time, ne? So it's already late.
Well, it's only 5 o'clock here.
Oh yeah, you still have a long day ahead. So let me not waste a lot of time. I've already welcomed you and thank you very much for this wonderful time. Thank you for taking your time to be with us tonight so that we can have a very fruitful and educative session with you here. So before we could get to a lot of things and discuss a lot of stuff, can I get at least get a brief of who am I speaking with for the sake of our viewers out there because I'm seeing few viewers are with us here.
Yeah, they're my friends.
Yeah.
So, my name is Jennifer Minieri. That's my maiden name. I am originally from New York and I currently live in Florida, so I am in the US. Um, I am a full time mom, I'm a part time realtor, and now I'm an author.
Okay. Okay.
So, that's me in a nutshell, I guess. Going through a divorce right now.
Okay. I'm sorry to hear that. But then I guess since that's the reason we are here, we are going to talk at least most about it. Because yeah, it's most part of our topic.
So, my book came out last week. It was published on Amazon.
Okay.
It's called An Affair with the Marriage Counselor.
Mm,
And it's
mm,
pretty
mm,
much
mm.
a story about me and my life the last couple of years. Um,
Okay.
the name of the book pretty much gives it away.
Yes. It's very much simple to understand the content and the context of what you can find inside the book. But then here I am sitting, asking myself, what was the inspiration behind you writing about your own experience in life? Because it takes a caliber, of course, I would say.
Well, you know, going through what I went through, trying to heal from it, which I'm still not fully healed, and living in the same house with him for the last year. For me, writing it helped me. Um, the purpose of the book was, not only to tell my story, but for other women that are, maybe seeing a marriage counselor, a woman, or even men who are seeing one, um, to look out for some of those red flags that I didn't see, a lot of unethical things that took place that,
Mm,
I was going through some trauma and things in my life at the time. So I didn't see them. Maybe I didn't want to see them. I don't know. So it's, we hear about it all the time, betrayal, husbands cheating, wives cheating, and with somebody they met at a bar or, people they know, their neighbors, I have friends. I have crazy stories, but, I haven't heard of anybody doing it with a marriage counselor. You're seeking help from a doctor, from a professional, somebody who knows your innermost secrets. They know all of your intimacy details and they prey upon that. And they took that and the blame obviously isn't just on her, it's on him as well because he's a man and he could have, made a choice. So, I talk a lot about that and she did a lot of, it was just a lot of unethical things that I should have seen that I didn't see. Things that doctors shouldn't do with patients, you know, invite them to parties, have, client or patient client parties, things like that. She was even at my wedding.
It's too deep. It's too deep because what I just picked from here, it's some unprofessional ethics in which in later details we can discuss, or
Sure.
we will discuss how it affected you.
Well, I see a psychologist 3 times a week. And that was hard because I didn't trust psychologists after that.
Like
You know,
even now you still find it difficult to trust psychologists or certain professional related to those fields.
well, the one I found, the one I found now, it took me a while. It took me years to find one.
Oh.
Um, or to even want to go to one. And I did find one, and we speak over the phone, so I'm not in person. Um, and he's been really great, and he's really helped me, and he's helping me through my process, you know, of healing and trying to move on. So
So while we are on, you just mentioned healing. So I want us to reflect back on the process of your healing. While we were still preparing for this conversation, you mentioned something about that you are healing, but we never went into detail. So I would love you to share on how the healing journey has been to you, more especially adding to the fact that you wrote a book. How did you writing a book have an impact into your healing process? Hmm. I can't hear you either. Uh, but why? Why? Guys, Zini, I don't know if anyone can hear me, but I've lost. Uh, I just wrote a comment here. I don't know if you'll see it here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Eh, eh, eh.
Iran.
What do I do? Mm, I don't know if anyone. I don't know. I don't know if anyone can hear me or not. But I couldn't hear a thing, and I don't know what's up. I don't know what's wrong here. Is there anyone can hear me, or I'm talking alone? Possibly because she couldn't hear me, she went off. Here she is again. I'm trying to add her again. I don't know if you could hear me because now I'm speaking alone.
can you
Oh,
hear me now?
yeah. Can you hear me?
So my girlfriend tried calling me on my phone, and it disconnected everything.
Oh,
Thank you, Sandra.
oh. I see.
So I
So,
apologize.
so did you get my last question, or should I just recap on it?
You could ask me again because I didn't hear it.
Oh, I was still asking if we were talking about. I was on about your healing process because I wanted to understand like how the journey was, and as much as you wrote a book about your experience, I want to understand how much impact does writing your book have in your healing process?
Well, it actually helped and it hurt because I had to relive it. So I had to
Yeah,
relive it a
yeah.
lot because I did hire a publisher to help me with it. And, going back and forth with the edits and having to reread wasn't easy. Writing it wasn't easy, but writing it it made it real, you know, that I made the right decision to leave.
I
So,
think I think what I learned from what you just said now is that writing has given you another opportunity to face it the way it is, to go head on with this situation, and that's some sort of I would say it depicts the strong woman that you are. And as much as now we are still speaking about it, I still say that I think this healing process is still much effective. But yeah, you can carry on and explain about other factors that were involved in your healing process, maybe sharing what added into making it easy for you, maybe to become better daily and whatsoever.
well, yeah, I actually started taking care of myself. I put myself first for once. And I guess I must be live on my Facebook because I see a bunch of people popping up. So yeah, I just started taking care of myself. I started going to the gym. I started boxing. I started getting my frustrations out. Hitting that bag was like hitting his face. It just made me feel a lot better. That's the truth. That's the truth. You know, my friends will tell you, I don't really know who's on right now, but uh, that was like ultimate for me.
Mm,
Really
I
helped,
get that.
really helped me during the healing process, which again, I'm still going through it. I'm going to go through it for the next year. We're just now getting out of the house. So now I'm going to have another year of, dealing with a lot of other things.
Mm, I get that. You know, it's just pity. I feel like each and every time I respond to to your comment, I should just first say I'm sorry to hear that. But then, as much as we are here to talk about it, I think I'm gonna hear it more often. So, take me through like your book, like what can you tell about the book to someone who should read it? Why would most women read it, or why would someone read it? The most impactful reason, the impact that it's gonna have on like a person by reading the book.
Well, anybody that's been betrayed by somebody, even if it wasn't with a doctor, a marriage counselor. Um, a lot of women stay. I stayed for a while before for my son, which I always said I'd never do. And I was miserable. I was miserable. And I wasn't me. And a lot of my friends said, "You're not the person I knew." Um, you know, so, it takes a lot to walk away from your family when you have a child involved. And
Mm,
it was a long process for me to do that. And I did lose family members, part of that. So there's a lot of relationship things in there about family members. But there's a lot of things that even for women that are getting involved with somebody where they know that there are red flags, but they do it anyway because your heart, you follow your heart. If I could have done things differently,
They say the heart what wants what it wants.
it does. And when I look back and I'm like, You know, I look back with the exception of having my son, that's the best thing that came out of it.
Mm.
Um, it was just a lot of heartache,
Mm.
you know. So, I talk about that in my book. I talk about the betrayal. I talk about how she haunted me for a while.
Mm. Mm.
Um, things she did. I mean, she was just, and he wasn't the only one, the only client she was doing it with.
Wow. It
Yeah.
seems like to
I'm,
her it
I'm
was
the only
some.
one that reported her.
Oh, you are the brave one.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't.
I,
Yeah,
I,
you were
I'm
gonna.
glad that
I lost
I'm glad
something.
I'm glad that I'm
Sandra
speaking to
just asked the
one.
question. It was Sandra. It was my. Yeah, I loved him when I met him. We got engaged 6 months later. I then found
Mm, mm.
out I was pregnant. I didn't want
Oh.
to get married at that point. My family, yes, Sandra, my family is the one that wanted me to get married because Jen didn't do the traditional thing. Well, you know what? I was 38 years old. I mean, come on. We're in a new generation, Who does the traditional
Mm.
thing these days? Not a lot of people. I mean, I'm 38 years old at the time. I'm 52 now, but I was 38 then.
Yes, 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 I get that.
So
So possibly what you're saying right now is there any by chance that we can still get people who are still experiencing the same situation that you were in at the age of
I'm
38,
sorry,
like
what was
in
that?
your I I was asking if by any chance we can still get people who are still affected by the same situation that you were in when you were 38, like on your side.
People who are affected by what I went through,
Yes,
like women I don't know.
yes, possibly. Do you think are there any women who are still suffering from that same experience on that side?
I don't know of any other woman whose husband had an affair with a marriage counselor. I know they're out there because like I said, my husband wasn't the only one. I don't know who they
Mm-hmm.
are. I mean, it's public knowledge when if anybody would know who she was, and her name is not in my book, but it's public knowledge. My report, my
Oh,
complaint, whatever you want to call it, is there, so everybody knows if they go to look her. I mean, she
I,
doesn't have her license anymore. She lost it.
oh. Is it because you reported and then they had to revoke it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, possibly that's the right thing they should do because if they allowed her to keep on practicing, it means she would have actually affected a lot of people.
She affected a lot of people before me, during
Yeah.
me, and now I hope she's flipping burgers at McDonald's
Mm, wow.
because she deserves to lose her license.
Yeah, very, we cannot uh, sympathize on that. We cannot say like we do feel for it because it's something that she wanted for herself. So I wish we had enough time. I don't know if we can be able to schedule another session with the same times then, but it will be a little bit longer because I think I'm gonna be running lots of network coverage.
Sure.
Yes, so it was nice having you, and even though I'm touched at a certain point, but I also learned one or few things as a young man and as a growing young man who is willing to get in marriage one of the good days. So